Chapter 5. To the Mansion. Thanks to the stream of moonlight that trickled into the outhouse through a crack in the door, I watched the minutes tick on my plain black watch, another perk of being a supply hunter. I got a watch since I was out in town gathering VOs all day. Hard to keep track of time, especially on cloudy days. It was easy to keep track of the gross stench of urine and feces, though, as it kept attacking my nose. That and the night chill, which had grown even colder in the last few minutes. "Ready, man?" Marf's lackluster voice came through the crack about 5 minutes later, right on time. Not bad considering he didn't have a watch, and that I'd thought he might bail at the last second. My hands trembled with excitement as I closed the rotting wooden door behind me. Thank power the overwhelming stench of human waste didn't follow me. I trailed his puffy figure. He wore a baggy sweatshirt 3 times too big for him and a raggedy pair of sweatpants, past the chicken coops. As expected, all the chickens were asleep. We slunk into the deathly quiet woods, our feet sinking into the soft ground. The forest's musky scent settled into my nose. We picked up the pace, which was good, because it was colder than an old corpse out here, and a light breeze had started to pick up. Even my gray sweatshirt and several layers of clothes weren't enough to stop the night chill from seeping into me in its quest for bone. More silver moonlight spilled through the gaps between deciduous treetops, which still had pockets of leaves clinging to them here and there, the only light in the dark forest. I couldn't help but imagine the glow as Chud revealing the only way from above. He'd be so glad I was going on this mission, or something it seemed he always wanted to do but couldn't, or never tried. My flesh tingled, though I wasn't sure if it was from excitement, the cold, or that thought. I continued to follow Marf straight ahead. Even though he hunted every day, he wasn't even close to as quiet as I was. His feet made light thunderclaps as they hit the ground, and the foliage he stirred sounded like a whirling rainstorm. No wonder he had trouble catching animals. When we came to the brook, we cut to the right and trailed along it. Its soothing trickle greeted my ears, though all I could see was its thin black outline. "This is your favorite place, right?" I asked. He'd told me that a long time ago. Made sense since one of his duties was to fetch water from the stream. "Sure is, man." Energy filled his voice. "If I've made a good catch for the day, there's nothing like sitting next to this brook and watching it flow along before I head back to the faction house." "Relaxing, huh?" "More than that, man. It reminds me of life in a way. You keep coursing, keep going forward. You got to, 'cause it's the only way things are gonna get better. You can't ever give up, can't ever stop flowing forward, you know what I mean?" "Sure." I've got to hand it to him. Marf was a tenacious little guy. He wasn't a very good game hunter, but no doubt he tried his hardest, even though game hunters didn't win prestige points. That was why I knew he couldn't resist a chance of becoming a supply hunter. Even though the odds were as slim as his arms, I hoped he got the role someday. And as long as I was around, I'd try my best to help him get it. Eventually, we came to a part of the brook where a path of flat stones ran across it, just like Marf had said. They poked out, obviously put there by somebody. We stepped across to the other side and continued in the same direction we'd been traveling. I'd never seen the mansion, of course, but I'd always imagined a house 10 times as big as our factions that grew bigger and bigger as we got closer. The tingling feeling spread to my bones. This was it. Finally. At last, Marf stopped at a large round black shape by the river. Had to be the boulder. "Go north from here." He pointed away from the stream. "The mansion should be straight ahead. You'll see stop signs soon." No way I'd be caught out that far. He shuddered, though that might have been the sparse moonlight playing tricks. I followed his finger with my gaze and imagined what stop signs look like based on our Nurture faction lessons. These big red octagonal objects that supposedly said stop, and that used to be on the streets until the Battlelux family moved them here. If I went past them, I'd be arrested if I was caught. Crap. Maybe the Middleton rulers did have some kind of guard duty along the manor's perimeter. "Thanks." My voice shook a little with fear and excitement. "When I get back, I'll tell Jeb about the supply hunter proposition." "Just don't get yourself arrested, man." He swallowed hard. "Or killed." I chuckled, though it sounded wooden. "I won't." Then he sprinted along the side of the stream in the direction we had come, probably scaring every animal within a 20-yard radius with his thunderous footsteps. Seriously impressive for such a small guy. Eventually his black shape shrank into nothing, and I quivered. "Don't get cold feet now, Goran." I heaved a deep breath, broke the tree line along the side of the brook, and continued straight ahead like Marf told me to do. Either time froze or the mansion was 1,000 miles away. Endless darkness surrounded me, interrupted only by slivers of moonlight that sometimes sliced down between the tops of the tall birch trees. My body prickled more with each step, to the point where I could have sworn parts of it numbed. At least Chud's showing you the way. Eventually, trees grew thicker and closer together. A ray of moonlight revealed a red stop sign entrenched in the ground by one of the trees. Like that was going to stop me. I continued on. It didn't help that the breeze kept growing stronger. I hugged my body with both arms to fight off the chill. Every couple of seconds, another stream of moonlight revealed another stop sign. How many did they have out here? Either way, clearly the rulers really didn't want anyone coming out this far. The thought sent more chills through me, but I forced my legs to press on. I stepped through a thick patch of trees and out into an open area. A few yards in front of me stood a tall iron fence that might as well have said, "No way you're getting past me, Gorin." The moonlight glinted off the spikes at the top, which made it even more imposing. But that wasn't what first caught my attention. A huge orange glow in the near distance. The mansion. I froze and stared at it. The place was enormous, just like I imagined. The silver moonlight played across the white limestone that made it up, like the rumors said, making it appear like some promised land only a select few people could live in, or even lay their eyes on. Technically that was true, I guessed. The hulking structure extended almost as far as I could see from left to right, and rose to, I counted them, 5 stories. On each side, a wing ran perpendicular to the massive building. Incredibly strong orange light blasted out of every window. Unnaturally strong light. Now that I thought about it, no way that light could have been coming from torches or even fireplaces. It was way too bright and constant. And then it hit me. Power. Some way, somehow, the mansion had power.